we go. And hopefully we are live now. And so, welcome to Swami Streams. As I get my headphones set up as normal, and I'm hearing myself double back, which is always confusing. There we go. So, how's everybody doing today? I'm psyched. I have been streaming a few days this week, and I'm really excited about that. I have gotten a couple of days of action working on my Blazor app, and sometimes there's people here with me, sometimes there's not. That's okay, because I'm actually getting work done, really digging it, and having fun and learning some stuff along the way. I'm learning about Blazor, and I'm learning about mostly Blazor is the new thing in here. So I'm not going to waste any time. I want to get right into. I thought I opened Visual Studio, but I didn't. So I'm going to open Visual Studio. I'm going to switch over to my desktop, and let's get this solution going here. And if you're here and you want to say hi, feel free to say hello. I'm just going to be working on some stuff along the way. And phone's buzzing, everything's buzzing. It's been pretty crazy lately. Anyway, what I'm going to do, let me think about what I'm going to do here. So I was working on this, I think. I think this works. This is the feedback controller. And the shared service. No. This, I gotta get used to this. What am I hearing? I think that's this computer. All right, hopefully I won't hear any more buzzing sounds. I hear all kinds of stuff, but who the heck knows? So, why am I getting these pop-ups too? I thought I closed, whatever. I do this and say focus assist. There we go. You know what? I'm going to add that to my notes. Focus assist. I keep notes of the things I need to do when I start the stream. And why don't I add focus assist to one of them? Maybe there's a cool way to wire that up to Stream Deck. That would be cool. That would be cool. I wonder if there's a hotkey. This is not what I'm supposed to be streaming about, but wouldn't this be cool to find out? And I think I'm the only one here anyway, so what's the difference? Let's take a look. So let's go to Windows, Focus Assist, hotkey. If there's a hotkey, then I can do it from A, Focus Assist, Windows A. So that's just going to bring up that menu, I think. Yeah, that's not what I want, right? I want to get... Yeah. I don't know if that's really going to help. B1909. I don't know what that means. Just turn mine off all the time. Let's see if I can find a Stream Deck, Windows Focus Assist. I would really like to say when I start my show, that would be cool. I don't know if there's a way to do it. I don't know. Well, maybe that can't be done. So, if I remember correctly, what I got here, because this is only I just added this additional project in here on Tuesday. I didn't stream yesterday. So I've got my Blazor server and I've got my web API project. So Blazor server in the, no, not AppRaiser, Andy. In the entry, right here, we're going to have to call the web API and make a connection into this other web API, right? So like if I wanted to do, I think I need to inject in HTTP client. Why does my, oh, I close that? And I know there's some default dependency injection stuff, but I don't quite recall. So let's just say HTTP client, right? I even say factory because that's kind of what we want to do. All right, calling web API. And I believe that it automatically provides the, well, I got to add the HTTP client service, which might even be in there. Okay, base address, I'm not sure. And then I have to inject. I thought it, okay, because this is, yeah. I mean, this is not hard to do here. So theoretically, if I put this at the top, right, at the top of my thing, and then in a code, I just do something like this. It's going to be called HTTP, right? So, okay, let's play around with this because this is, I'm winging it here. I've got a logger. Now, I feel like these need to be grouped, right? That's a little better, isn't it? So now, in here, I should be able to say like HTTP, and there's like a get async. I'm going to be doing a post async, right? And what does it want to do then? Post async is going to take the URI and the content. Well, that's perfect. I mean, right? That's perfect. And I think I could extract that out into like a different service too, and then inject that service that knows a little bit more about what we're doing, right? Like I tend to like doing, and I don't know if this is the best place to put it. I'm going to use this data folder for a whole bunch of stuff. Oh, no, you know what? Let's call it, let's add a new folder called services, because I think this is the way I would like to do it. In here, I would like to have something, I'm going to call it feedback service, because this is, yeah, feedback service .cs. Okay, and then in the feedback service, and I'm just stubbing this out, right? So let's just play along here and say, I'm going to say public void send feedback, right? And it's going to take the model, and maybe this is overkill because maybe that's just what this is supposed to do, but I like to have separation and things like that. I don't know. I'm going to take this feedback entry thing and put it in here. This seems like the way I would rather do it, and this would really be send feedback async, right? If we're going to be specific here. And so this will be task public async task send feedback, and in here I want to get the dependency injection stuff, and so I guess I need to have a constructor. Let's just say I want to have my I'll steal it from my in here. I need an HTTP client, right? So I'll probably name it a little differently in this thing, and maybe I'll take that out of here. Maybe I won't even use that in here. And so if I do this, okay, and then in here I would say something like HTTP client dot send async, and I'll have to format this request message, I guess. Well, there's 4 options. request, cancellation token, that makes sense. And the fourth option, yeah, okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a, what is it? Request message, HTTP request message. So if I do HTTP request message equals new. Can I do this new thing now? Is that the new way to do it? I think that's valid in my new. Yeah, that's kind of cool. I'm not used to this, but like less text is good, right? What does this thing take? Okay, I can take a string. I'm definitely going to need to give it a method and a string. And then where's the body go? Maybe that doesn't go in here. So let's just say the method is going to be new method. Oh. Request HTTP method post, right? And I'm going to have a URL in there, I guess, right? And then message, hopefully there's a way to say message.body, message.content, right? And that's going to be this feedback input, feedback input, what's that? Feedback, oh, I see, because, yeah, okay. So, however, I think I'm going to need to convert this into like some kind of JSON string, right? Like convert to JSON, unless it just will do that for me. Is that possible that it will just do that? That'd be kind of neat, right? And then if I do send async, I just pass the message into that. Okay. Oh, and we'll just do await, right? Oops. Okay, and it's still, oh yeah, it wasn't liking that. Okay, so what do I need to do? Convert it into JSON or something like that? Let's see what all we have on here. Content dot, oh, well, we got headers, read as string async. Serialize the HTTP content into a stream of bytes. Doesn't seem like what I want to do, does it? Let's find out what to do with this. Load JSON string into an HTTP request message. It's kind of what I want to do. This person has some sort of, I don't know if this is even right. So schedule request, serialize it, right, JSON convert, which is what I was thinking, but this person's saying, this is just a unit test, but that doesn't matter. I have a schedule, some object. They're doing serialize, and I don't know if this is really right, but I could to string content, and then the request gets the content. Like this seems like it would work. I don't know if it's necessary, but it doesn't seem unnecessary, right? So I would take this feedback input, right? And let's add, oh, okay, let's, I think that goes in it. I hope I did that right. Is that going to automatically put it up here in dependencies? That's what I want to have happen. Packages. Yeah, perfect. Okay. So I've got that. So I'm turning it into JSON. That actually seems pretty good. So I've got this content, and now I've got this thing, and I can get rid of this and say content equals right? And that should work. So what I'll need will be the URL for this. The URL for my API. So yes, it will be this, right? And so I'm going to say, oh, sorry. And again, I'll take this out into, someplace like a config file, right? But this is just testing. So let's throw this in here and say I want to go to that URL, and then it's going to go to, I think it's just play straight up, API feedback. Okay. That's going to be the API route for that. So I think if I'm right about this, let's close some of these things. I'm going to do API/feedback. Okay, and is it automatically set to be a get? All right, or no, a post. Sorry, it'll be a post. And I'll put a breakpoint in there, and let's just see what we get. Let's just see if we get that feedback entry. This will be really cool if this works. Mildly optimistic. If you're with me, let's be optimistic. Let's think that this is going to work. I do want to test my audio to make sure audio is working. Yeah, audio is working. I get nervous that audio doesn't work, but okay. So now I've got that running. So now I'm going to debug my Blazor app here and just do debug. All right, and oh no. Oh, what did I do? Oh, well, there you go. Right, I wasn't really, okay, I didn't finish this part. So let's see, obviously this is me being dumb here. So I've got the feedback service, which I need to inject in here. So I'm going to put that here instead. iFeedback service. Is that what I call? I didn't call it I. That was wrong also, but I'm going to go back to that. Or no, well, I'm going to inject an iFeedback service. Let's go back to services. I've got feedback service. Let's do this. Let's do, so is it upset because I'm in like debug mode even though I'm not debugging this project? I think it is. We'll just stop. And we'll, where's like my extract interface and stuff like that? Why am I not seeing that? Quick actions or refactoring, peak definition, find all references. Do I not have, maybe I'm used to resharper running here, but I think I can do it this way. So let's do extract interface. I'm going to edit to the current file. You know, and I get mixed up because I use resharper a lot, and I get used to like resharper ways of doing things, and this is a little different, but that's not a big deal. So I'm going to put that here, okay, and then this is going to get injected into here, and it might not like the namespace. Maybe I need to say Blazor server dot services. That? And do I even need Blazor server? Let's just be curious to see what happens. Because this is a place where I'm a little unsure. It seems to like that one too. It doesn't like it without it because services is in a different namespace, and that makes sense. So I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to say, what did I call it? Well, I didn't rename it, right? So let's call it, I don't know, is the standard to still do these in files like this? Because that's what I would want to do, because it's like a class level thing. So I'm still going to do that. I don't know if that's like the standard, because you notice this gets like a capital logger, and maybe capital would be a giveaway. Maybe that's the standard. Let's try to do that. I think that's like the Blazor way of doing it. So I'll say feedback service dot send feedback async. Now it's asynchronous. Ooh, so I don't know what's going to happen there. And I'll say feedback input goes into there, right? Now, if I want to await that, this returns a task, right? So if I want to await it, this isn't asynchronous. Awaited task returns no value. Well, it returns a task, right? So, so it does return a value. It returns the task. Got entirely too many things open over here, which freaks me out. I don't know if you're like me. I like to keep things closed. I do not like to have a lot of stuff open in here. So I'm going to close that. And, you know, I'm winging it here, trying to learn some Blazor stuff along the way. And, okay, so it's allowing me to do an await. Oh, no, sorry, I'm in the wrong thing. So here is where I want to do an async method, and I wonder if there's like an overload for this. Handle valid submit. Like, let me find out about async in Blazor. Hey, Mr. Crump, how are you? What am I building? I am building a pretty simple Blazor app. Pretty simple Blazor app, trying to get the hang of Blazor. I'm starting with Blazor server, and it's actually something I need for work, but it's pretty simple. So we're building this thing where we can provide feedback on various teams, right? So there's a very simple UI. You can choose the team that you want to provide feedback on. Of course, these things will come out of a database eventually or something like that. Hard coding some values for now. And we're just saying, did things go well this sprint and things like that. A little bit of feedback that we're collecting. So I've got this Razor page here for my Blazor server side. And from there, I'm going to call into this feedback service, which again, I don't know if this is the Blazor way to do things because I'm really kind of winging it here. But I felt like I should have a service in my Blazor server app. And that service calls, I do have an API to do all this, right? So there's a separate project, that's my API, right here. And this has, you know, it's still got weather forecast in there, right? Like just boilerplate stuff. But I've got this feedback controller. So from my service here that I created, I'm calling this, you know, asynchronously, right? I'm calling the API. And what I'm noticing is that I'm not sure how to handle the async nature in this code right here. Now I could make this like async, and I don't know if this will work because it seems too easy because this onValid submit, like there's not an async version of that. I'm like a little skeptical that that's just going to work for me. I could try it, but I was about to see Blazor async Razor. Maybe it's really a Razor question, not a Blazor question. That's another place where I find myself sort of stumbling. Is this a Razor issue because it's a Razor page and a Blazor app, or whatever? So there's this is interesting. Like what I really want to do is probably put the name of that method here: onValid submit async. That seems like what I'm really trying to figure out. So here's an async. So I'm just looking at the docs here, really basic, and I'm just kind of winging it. and I don't know if this is how people watching today do things. I just go into a page and I try to find out, and I look really quickly, and I'm usually too lazy to read through the articles all the way. But here's another one. It says handle submit in the form example 3 components demonstrated as an asynchronous method because storing form values often uses asynchronous calls. Yeah. So on submit, handle submit. And they're just making it async. So it's maybe just as simple as that. Maybe this is going to work. Now, I think what I would do is name this async because that I think is still the best practice. So I will just, so I'm all kosher here, do that. And I don't even know if this is right, but I'm going to put some breakpoints in here and see if I can make this happen. This will be really cool. And if it does work, this is an example of how and why I wanted to use Blazor, because it just kind of, low bar of getting started for developers that already have experience in these things, right? That's what I'm kind of hoping is going to happen. So let me debug this Blazor server, and I'll start up my web API in debug mode and put a breakpoint in there as well. Don't know if did I put a breakpoint in there already? Yeah, I got it. Yeah, I'm just looking to see if the data shows up. Like, I'm not even doing anything with it yet. I haven't built that stuff yet. So let's find out. So if you haven't been on this before, oh, look, here's my Swagger. Oh, yeah, it always goes to a new thing. So I've got Swagger, and I'm going to be working on this post, which is fine. And then here is this very lame Blazor UI, which looks an awful lot like the default sample that you get. And that's exactly what it is. But I just put this provide feedback page in here for now. Oh, no. Unheld. Oh, I know. I bet I know what I didn't do. Right. I didn't wire up my dependency injection. And that happens to me, all the time, right? When I'm trying to move fast. So let's go back. And what I didn't do is go into my, startup for the server, for Blazor server. And in here, I guess I want to say services.add transient. Now I didn't add the HTTP client either, but I thought it does that out of the box, and we're going to find that out. So I'm going to say add transient. Add transient, like what did I call it? Feedback service. And it's going to bark at me because it doesn't know what that is, right? Okay. Add transient feedback service, comma, feedback service, right? Now, the big mystery is, oh, hello. Who's that? We got saying hello from Praneeth. Hello, how are you? Welcome to the show. I'm working on a little Blazor. Thanks for saying hi, by the way. Working on a Blazor app. I'm really new to Blazor. I've seen the demos. I've done the hello world. Now I'm trying to build something real in here. So thanks for joining me. If you know anything about Blazor, feel free to jump on in. But I kind of remember somewhere that the HTTP client was automatically provided in Blazor. So if it is, then this might work. If it is not, then this thing will not work. And I'll just go and wire up. Oh, wait. Hold it. I'm missing something else here. Whoop. So what I didn't do is this, right? So now I'm kind of hoping it works. I assume I still have to do all this kind of stuff. But do I need to wire up this in my IOC container? I don't know. we're going to find out. Let's try it again. I'll do the Blazor server app. And this time, before I even start the other app, I'll see if I have an error. Because that should just bog out right away. That's the way dependency injection works when you do constructor injection. Yeah. So some services are not able to be constructed. So I guess I need to do that other thing. That's just not really a big deal. So I'll say, I don't remember how to do this. Blazor inject HTTP client. I know this is like stuff I've seen a million places. Oh, I was on this page already. It's actually over here. I didn't really read it all the way down. So, let's see. Where is... Let's see what it says. So they, use this inject, right? This is the code that calls it. This is the code that calls it. And yeah, Praneeth, DI, dependency injection here in Blazor is what we're working on. And I just need to configure it. This one is what I need to do right here. So I need to do builder.services add HTTP client. Right. And I knew it was something like that. Just wondering where. Now they say to put it in program, but wouldn't it really go in startup? Like here? Like, I don't know. That feels like more like the way the rest of this stuff works. No, but see here it's this is a named, okay. Oh, this is for a named HTTP. Okay, let's go back and read a little bit more carefully, because this did say for like a typed HTTP client. I want a basic HTTP client. Not telling me that. So yeah, this is why this stuff takes a while. I probably skimmed over it anyway. So Blazor, this is Blazor WebAssembly. Well, let's see if it is. Blazor WebAssembly calls web APIs using pre-configured HTTP client server. That's what I was thinking. But maybe I was thinking about WebAssembly and not Blazor server. So, which can include blah, 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 Blazor JSON, this HTTP client service in Blazor WebAssembly. Am I in WebAssembly? So I'm going to just do Blazor server. So with Blazor, I guess you always really got to double check and say, are we talking about Blazor server or Blazor WebAssembly? And let's see. Maybe it's just the way you would do it in any old okay, wait, hang on a second. If I'm putting my my thinking hat on here, maybe I just do add HTTP client, which is kind of the way it works normally, right? Add HTTP client, and that would be the end of that. Because as I think about it, that's the way I would do it in a web API or something like that. Let's just see if that does it for me. Let's see if that does it for me. And if it fails, it will work. Praneeth says it will work. I appreciate that. I don't know if my timing is right. If you just said that or if you said that earlier. Well, it looks like it worked. All right. So we're going to provide feedback. So these are the silly questions. It doesn't matter. I just need to say some things for here for right now. And submit. Now it takes me to here, right? And I've got the feedback. I've got these little values in here. So now, stepping into this. Okay, sure. Now I'm in here, and I kind of hope I have this URL right. serialize my object. So that's my JSON. Should put it in there. Sets the content. Why is it grayed out? Gray usually means it's not getting used, right? Or maybe it's going to tell. All right, well, I don't know. Here's my message. And let's just see what happens. So now I'm going to go back to that. And no connection to be made because the target machine actively refused it. Oh, wait. I forgot to restart that one. That would be a problem. So, okay, now my API is running. So if I do this, will it work again? Let's see. I guess I have to reload. Okay, that's not a big deal. Set my values. Submit. I'm just going to run it. Boom. Here we are in the feedback controller. Now, all I want to see is that I have data in here. Look at that. Oh, man. It works, right? Very psyched to know that that works. That's exciting. That's cool. That is cool. So, and I guess if I just let that happen, it comes back to here, right? Because I didn't do anything on submit. So I guess if I want to stay on the Blazor side of things, I have to do something after this is submitted, right? So I guess I want to return some sort of success, right? Well, if it's a 200, that's success, okay? So if I go here, like what does this return back to me? Well, okay, this is this method here. This thing, send async, returns an HTTP response message, all right? So let's just say I save the result of this. And now I can say result dot status code. And I should be able to look at those status codes. So I want to, kind of making this up as I go here, thinking that I would, I'm thinking that I would maybe return like it either worked or it didn't, right? Or some kind of error messages. Now, what I typically do, so this is where things get interesting because I tend to use patterns like I would return something called like task of result, and it would be, well, it doesn't like me packing in here, but I tend to like to have like a result object that returns any data I want or any errors I want, things like that. So I could throw something together really quickly. So this is the feedback service that is in my server app. So what I could do, I could put into the shared class, oh yeah. So this is where Blazor's kind of cool and I have to kind of get used to some of this stuff. But in the shared class, I think I'm going to put in a simple class called result. I'm just throwing it in the root now. I'm going to rearrange these things later. I'm going to call this result.cs. And I have some of these classes in other libraries, and I'm probably going to go grab something that I can get to later. Praneeth, hello again, says, how about store data in Cosmos DB and return created or submitted 201? So, very good, right? So, in terms of where I store it, that's a whole other story, right? Right now, I'm just going to pretend that I'm storing it. I'm just going to pretend that it works for today, I think. Probably tomorrow, I'm going to have to build out the data storage for it. But right now, I'm just thinking mostly about, how Blazor will work with the service, not what does the service do in the long run. And I will return, I think, like a 200. And you're saying 201, which I'm not like super familiar. That's probably a more specific version. But that's what I'm going to return. I want to return a nice HTTP status out of here. And so what I often do, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, right, because I'm a little all over the place. The feedback service, this is in Blazor. The feedback controller is going to return. So let's change this a little bit right now. So we're pretending we're saving the data, right? And then we're going to come down here and we're going to return, this is void, but this really needs to be, oh God, what are these things called? Is it like, well, first of all, it should be async, right? Async. Gosh. What's it called? HTTP status or something like that? What God, I'm blanking out on what it's called. Oh gosh. Let's take a quick look. I'll just say something like web API return HTTP status. I forget. There's a simple, and I'm hoping it comes right up. HTTP response message? Is that what it is? This was a kind of an old article. So relatively newer. Oh gosh. Yeah, oh, action result. That's the thing I was thinking about. Action result, okay. So if I return an action result from here, that is the word I was looking for. Action result, then I can say return, I thought this would give me help here. New, like, okay, yeah, okay result, right? That's what I want to do here. Okay, assuming it went well. Now it's async, so I can just take the async part out for now. Right, well, it would also be task. So, like, I want to do something like this in here. And, of course, if there's an error, you know, I'll pseudocode this out here a little bit. If error, return new, what's it called? It's called, oh, there's another name for these things. Return, something that's like a 400, I think it's called, right? Where like it didn't work. I can't think of the status code. Error messages, right? We'll come back to that because I've got some code in another library that'll really help me do this. So this is going to get the OK result, and it's going to come back to here, okay? And then this should have the status code. And here, I want to turn this into something that has like more than a Boolean, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this result class, and I'm going to say action result, action result. Are we that far behind that I typed that and now I'm seeing it? Okay, so this streaming sometimes is like way behind. I don't know, Praneeth, if you just, when I was saying I wonder what it's called, but I've got action result in here now. Hopefully this is a product of the delay here. But hey, I'm glad you got my back here. So what I usually do is I'll just do something like this, like a result of T, and then here I'll have prop, and I'll say public bool success. Well, well, I've been using more of a status now. Let's just, oh, you know what I really should do? I should look in my other, all right, I'll leave it like this for now. And then I'm going to come in and fix this tomorrow with some code I have in another library. I'll just say status, and I'll say, you know what? I don't even need an object right now. Let's just do a result, and I'll say public list string messages. When I do this, I'm trying to, oh, it filled it in for me anyway. Okay, so I've got this result, all right? And now my feedback service is going to return a task of result, which it should know about. Yep. And then here, what I want to say is something like result dot status code. Did I forget? I didn't change it back to status code. I kept it as status code. No. I think I have two results in that thing. Yeah, I don't have an, I don't have an object called result. Oh, that's that result. Yeah, okay. Let's call this HTTP result. And I'll say result result equals new result. Really simple stuff. And I'm going to say result dot status code equals HTTP result dot status code equals how do I get that? Yeah, this is what I want. Okay, right. This is a Boolean. Oh, result.status, right? Okay, good. Something like this. This is weak. This is kind of a little lame, but this is going to get me there. I'm just stubbing some things out for now to see how it starts to work. Send feedback. Now I need to say, let's see, it's async. I've got no wait. I'm going to say return status. Okay, whoop, return result. All right, and with that, yeah, that's okay. I have to fix that. Changed this. Okay. So this will send the feedback. So this will send it. It will take an HTTP result and turn it into what I'm going to consider a more like within my application friendly result. That's just the way I tend to do things. We all have our own, sort of ways of working through some of these things. And again, Blazor's new to me, so I may decide that I want to do things differently in the future, but so let's just see if that worked. Oh, I know what I want to do. So if I go back to here, I want to say var result here equals something, right? And now I'm going to say, I don't even know what to do here. This is the Blazor stuff, right? So if result dot status, then I guess I want to navigate away, else. Why is it like nesting that? I have something else wrong on here? Why is my, that just seems weird. Else, I want to display the message, right? this is not formatting correctly. It just seems odd that it indented that. Is that a new thing? Whoops, what did I just do? Format. Oh, that fixed it. Okay, I formatted it again and it seems to fix it. So, if you're hanging out with me, thanks for hanging out. I'm going to try to be back tomorrow as well, by the way. Looking at my work calendar over here. Yeah, I'm going to be doing this again tomorrow around the same time, working on this app, just to let you know. And I hope you'll come back and hang out. And if you have any suggestions, feel free to throw them in. So how do I navigate away? That's what I do not understand. So let's learn how to do that. And that's like a Blazor thing, right? Oh, you know what? I bet I can find it without even really like learning it. I can probably go to one of these other pages. I mean, it's really just a redirect, right? But is that like sort of the way you do things in Blazor? Do I just say like, I'm not sure. So why don't I, oh, come on. Just keep opening up browser tabs and learning along the way. Blazor, page navigation, something like that. Excuse me, coughing there. Navigating our app via code. This is kind of what I probably want to do. And I have a feeling, so here we go. Like, is that what we do? Navigate to? I don't know. I just went to this page, but I think it might be as simple as just doing this. URI helper dot navigate to. You know, I'm lazy, right? So I'm just going to grab this and I'm going to try it without really knowing if this is the right way to do it. Let's just say, you know, it's not complaining yet. Now I want to go back to URI helper. Does not exist. Yeah, well, that's fair. I have to put it in the top. They don't show it in a directive. The navigation manager, navigate to. Why wouldn't I use that? Method enables C# code to control the browser's URL. As with intercepted navigations, the browser does not actually navigate. Well, this seems to make more sense. What's this other stuff down here? URI. I'm a little confused with this article. Blah blah blah. Counter. Like, why doesn't this work? Let's see if this works. Well, there you go. Look at that. Navigation manager dot. Oh. Yeah, but it's not a static thing, right? So I have to inject it. Maybe that's what I need to do. Let's try that. I'm really just winging it. Inject navigation manager. Now what happens? Now if I do navigation manager, look at this, navigate to. Okay, and I'm going to simply say, I'll just do index, and let's just see if that works. What do you guys think? You think that's going to work? I think it will work. Else it's going to display the message. All right. So should I put like just for kicks, let's come down here and put like a text box. How do I do a text box? It's not really an input, but I want to bind. Oh, I think I know what to do. I'm just going to say, well, what the heck? Let's just put a div in here and see what happens. div at bind value, right? Bind value equals error message. Okay, now there is no error message. That's fine. I'm just going to put a string over here, right? String. I guess it should be capital. Error message. No, the feedback input wasn't. Error message. See, I don't know if I like this stuff, because here I'm saying lowercase feedback, and then here you have lowercase, and I kind of like scoping things a little bit more clearly. But okay, let's not worry about that now. So what if I just say error message equals error, right? Now, of course, I don't have an error message. So, oh, wait. Do I have to make it like private? Find value. Huh. Attribute names. Oh, probably because it's a string. Like, do I have to do it like value? Let's see if there's some other. How do they do it with counter? Count equals at private count. Int count equals 0. Oh. Maybe I just use the at. Maybe I don't use data bind, right? This is even simpler. I'm not data binding because it's not a two-way. It's not a two-way binding. So I think I just go to this thing and say, oh, this. How about this, right? Div at error message. Okay. Well. I'm good. Let's find out if this works. And if this does work, this is definitely like a place where I'm getting to be like, you know, this is entry-level learning Blazor stuff. If you're with me here, you know, like I'm just learning a little bit of navigation, understanding data binding and how to do things. And this is actually, you know, kind of what I need to learn. So I'm going to start this up. Start new instance. Okay. So this worked. I didn't get an error doing that. So I'm going to go to provide my feedback, and I'm going to throw some data into here. Okay. Now I'm going to go down to here. It's going to probably, yep, hit my other breakpoint. Okay, so I say go here, it comes back. My status is true. So, or you know, whatever, yeah, I'm going to redirect to index. No, it didn't work. What's home? Well, it didn't exactly work. I kind of thought index was home. Oh, I bet the URL isn't really, that's not that big a deal. Because it worked, right? It took me somewhere. I was looking at this index, but that's just slash. So it's not really index, it's just slash. Okay, that's no big deal. Now what I'm going to do is, how do I stop one? I can't really stop one of these, can I? Okay, well, I'll fix both these problems. So I'm going to go back to entry here. This is going to say navigate to nothing for index. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back over to here. This thing is just boilerplate returning OK result. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to say if feedback entry dot team ID equals, what did I call it? Does it have a value? Is it like a 1 or a 2? Yeah, 1 or 2. This will be really cool. Cool test here. Equals 1. say return new, oh, bad result, bad requester. That's the one I was trying to think of before. Okay. And that will not be a 200. Okay. That should allow my thing to toggle. Yeah. This will be cool. So now I can sort of toggle it with the UI a bit. What am I looking for here? Set, start. While that's happening, I'm just looking over here. Yeah, things are good over here. Okay. Oh, I started the wrong project. Sorry. Collapse that. Start this. All right. So, hanging out with me. This should work. I got that. I got this. All right. So, provide feedback. I'm going to say team A. And oh wait, did I put a message in there? I do. Oh yeah, I got this error. Okay, good. So submitting this, I'm going to kind of skip things because this should just work. Okay, goes there. Back to here. Huh. I probably have something backwards. So let's just and we're going to go into this thing. Oh, I did it backwards. Yeah, team 1 is bad request. I didn't even notice it. Did it put my error message in there? Oh, look at that. So if I do that, I get error. If I do team B, oh yeah, that's cool, right? It's not perfect, right? And there's obviously more stuff I would do in here. But I want to see this one again. So if I do this, hit submit, I should get the error message. Yeah, see, why didn't I get the error message the first time I did that? It's only when I submit it again, I saw the error message come up. So something's not right with the error message. And I think that's the last thing I'm going to try to figure out today. So I've got this error message. I've set the value. But it doesn't seem to be like reflecting it in the UI. Is that because of the async nature of this thing? Because this is async. Oh, it's void. First of all, it should be a task. I wonder if that'll help things. Never have async void. That's a big no-no. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to properties here. Is it properties? No, it's... Oh my gosh. Oh my god. Oh my gosh. Hello. C# Fritz Coding Squad is here. Oh, hello. How are you guys? Nice to see you all. Thanks for popping in here. Thanks for joining me. I see Quantum Beta and Pyrocat. I see some cool names in here. Guy Creative. Oh, that's a cool one. I like the way you did that. And others, hello. I am working on learning Blazor. And I'm kind of a novice with Blazor. I'm past Hello World. But yet I don't really know a whole lot, right? So I'm sorry, I was just doing this real quick before I forget. And so what I'm doing is I want to start 2 projects at once to make life easy for me. So Oh yeah, other Blazor novices. Great. Good morning. Hello, C# Fritz. Thanks for stopping by, my man. So what I've got going here, I'll just get you guys up to speed really quickly. Is that I've got three applications, three projects in the solution here. Blazor Server, starting with Blazor Server. I'll get to Blazor WebAssembly next. I've got a web API. The web API doesn't really do anything yet. It just pretends to do something. So I've got this web API called feedback, has a feedback controller. And if I post this feedback, doesn't even matter what it is, but it's just some feedback that we're collecting. And I'm just hard coding stuff in right now. If the team ID is 1, we're going to return a bad request. If it's not, we're going to return an OK result. Obviously, I need to save this data to a database, but I'm not even doing that yet. Okay. What I'm really trying to work on is the Blazor side of things. And so I've got this Razor page here, which has a little bit of UI. I submit, and I've been working on this handle valid submit async logic now. And I've got it doing a little bit of stuff. So it calls my my API, which is again a different project, and I'm doing it as like a service. And I don't know if this is the best way to do it with Blazor, but this is the way I like to do things. I know I could just call I could just call HTTP client and make the call right here. But what I did is I created a little service here called feedback service, and sort of encapsulated the HTTP stuff into here, right? Serializing my data and all that. I really like separating the logic out like that. So I did that, and this is working. None of this code is cleaned up yet or anything like that. This is like me just hacking my way into this so far. No unit tests or anything like that yet, just to be clear. And so then I come back and I get the result out of this feedback service, and I'm just looking at if the status is, success, or if it's right now it's just a Boolean. So if this, I'll be changing it later. If the status is true, which doesn't make any sense, call that success. Then I'm navigating back to a different page just to know. I'm trying to learn how this navigation stuff. I was trying this URI helper. That seemed like a total waste. Didn't seem like I needed that. And this worked. And then if it doesn't, it'll display the error. And what happened is the error wasn't really getting displayed. And I want to see if it is now. And if it is, I can explain what I did to fix that. So many Blazor developers. I love it. Curious Drive. Me too. Blazor's cool. I do a stream at night called the Dev Talk Show on Wednesday nights. And you can find that on Twitch, the Dev Talk Show. And last night we were talking about, what kind of things are we excited about? And one of the things I said, I'm really excited about Blazor. And it's time I started learning Blazor, because it's one of those things, I was one of these people asking for Blazor. Come on, Microsoft, how can I write C# everywhere and not have to do JavaScript and things like that, right? And so they gave us what we asked for. Okay, here's my provide feedback. Now, if I choose team A, this is the fail condition or the error condition, right? And it doesn't really matter what I put in any of these boxes, okay? When I hit submit, what should happen is this is the controller. It's going to jump out of here. It's going to come back to here. Status is false. Okay. So all it's going to do is set this error message. Again, I'm not doing anything super complex here yet. I'm at the early stages here. Curious Drive, you can check out your channel to learn more about Blazor. Thank you. Curious Drive, I will do that. I assume that it's twitch.tv Curious Drive. I'm wondering, do you also archive to YouTube or something like that, where I could find older shows and things like that? Let me know if you do. I'd love to know about that. So anyway, oh no, it is a YouTube channel. Okay, great. I'm gonna start a channel where I got creative. Yeah. Okay, good. Curious Drive. Thank you for posting that, and others. Check it out. Right, we're all in this together. All right. So, what I want to see is if I hit this, see that error. Okay. So here's a tip. We just learned something. Originally, I was doing a little sloppy coding in here, right? And this method started out being private void handle valid submit. And I changed it to be handle valid submit, and I threw the async keyword on there, and I made it async. And guess what I did? I left this as void, right? Well, I left it as void, sorry. And what happened is, and I figured this, luckily I figured this out pretty quick. When I got to this, it never refreshed the page or whatever. It never data bound it. It never showed up on the page. And I was looking at this for a minute. I said, you know what? I know enough. I should know better to know that you never do, oh, come on. You never do async void because things don't really return back. And I was thinking to myself, well, since I did that async void, this binding would probably not work. And so there's the tip, right? The tip of the day is always remember it's never async void. It's always async task. Well, I shouldn't say never. Like maybe there's a use case there. I don't think there is. Darren Evans. Hello, Darren Evans. I think John Galloway featured Curious Drive in Community Links recently. Hey, that's pretty cool. Seriously, congratulations, Curious Drive. Yeah, it feels great. That's really cool. I will be checking it out. Unfortunately, one of the things when I'm going to write this on my to-do list right now, my non-application to-do list is I need to hook up featured chat because I haven't done this yet. I streamed for a while. If you're kind of new to me, I was streaming for a while pretty regularly during the day like this. And then I stopped for like almost a year. Like most of COVID, I was not live streaming during the day. So just really this week, I've been back with a vengeance, streaming a lot. And there's still a few things I haven't set up perfectly. And I don't have overlays in here yet for, Twitch exciting things that happen in Twitch. And I don't have featured chat hooked up yet either. But anyway, async void for controls. Oh, async void for controls. See, this is what's great when we have community here. We have people that know things that others don't, right? So thank you. I see Webface CA event handlers for void. Yeah, and that makes sense. I get it. So as we're all in here helping each other, but again, my takeaway is like async task is was fix this problem, right? And if anybody wants to see it in action, I'll be happy to take the word task away and show you that this error message just doesn't oops, wrong one here, just didn't show up, right? And I knew what was up because if I hit submit again, it showed up and I was like, all right, something's going on here, right? It's not picking that up. So now all I was really doing was if it does this and I hit submit, and hopefully I didn't break that, when I come back, it takes me to my home page. And everyone should recognize this home page here as, boilerplate, whatever you call it, out of the box template stuff. But that'll be one of my next to-dos is like, start making this thing look like something. I am building a real application. This is actually going to get used at work. It will get styled better. But what we're trying to do is collect feedback, some pretty basic feedback for some of our teams. And I thought this would be a fun application. So I will be putting, styling onto here. There will be authentication. OIDC will probably be one of the next things I do. I like to wire that stuff in early. And let's see what's going on here. Samir B. Coding. Anyone know if there's a good graphic on the flow of async await? I always try to find one to show and can't find anything that doesn't have 3,000 arrows pointing to all sorts of directions. I don't know. I don't know of any. I tend to think of the flow of async await, and maybe I'm being naive here, but I tend to think of the flow of async await being somewhat straightforward because, and I don't want to explain this wrong because I haven't thought about this, like to verbalize it lately. But when you hit this await, it sends this off and then goes and does other things. And then when this thing finishes, it comes back and it goes off in its place, right? And if you do, you can, oh no, I'm sorry, I take that back. Yeah, no, that's right. If I did it differently, I could also do it like, and people can jump in if I'm not explaining this great, but let's just say I said var, you know, send. This is the send, and I want to do it like, you know, this. Then I could say, oh, am I still debugging? Yeah. So I could do it like that if I wanted, I guess. And in that case, it would continue past this line. This is an asynchronous code line, but I haven't awaited it yet. And I could put like lots of things in here. Send to send 3. And then I can do like, I don't do this often, but await all? Is that like a, how do you do await? I don't even know. How does it await all? Oh boy. There's a way to do await all. And I haven't done it in a while. I don't know. Maybe I need a different using statement. When all, await task when all. Hey, Miguel, thank you. Thank you. I haven't done it in so long that I wasn't even sure how to do that. So, point is, I could do task, wait, what is it? Task, wait, all. Oh yeah, that makes sense. Task, yikes. Typing is hard. Task, wait, all. And then I guess I have to put all the tasks in there. Tasks, right? Send to send 3, something like that. Doesn't look super happy because this is probably not right anymore. You know what I mean? Like this is a problem here. But so I don't have the syntax right. But the point is, you can do await all, and you could just do await. And I made a mess out of my code here. Await it. I don't know. I made a mess of my code, and this is a good example of me trying to talk about stuff that I don't know what I'm talking about, because I haven't done that much with that. Like in a, it's funny how await all is one of those things, or wait all is one of those things I really haven't done lately. And when I don't do things lately, if you're like me, my brain is like fragile, like when I don't do stuff, it goes like out of my brain, like I forget stuff all the time. Thank God we have Google. Thank God we have Google. And I just want to make sure, did I put that back the right way? Send async message. No, what did I do? Oh boy. I'll just like Control Z the heck out of this thing. Oh, I think I might have gone too far. Is that it? Yeah. Wait, send message content, send async. Just want to make sure I got that right. That looks pretty good. Var response equals await. Well, this is the HTTP result. Yeah, this is what I wanted to have. And then that goes into, yeah, thanks. Thank you. Anyway, so I got this working. And I'm just playing with other stuff. So I don't know, like, what am I doing next here? So I have options of what I'm going to do next. One option would be to build out the server, like the API side of things. Now, this is an area, like when I talk about what happens below this feedback controller, right? Nothing's happening here. And so I'll build out, services underneath this with, some helpers and validation and authentication and repository and those kind of things, and store the data. But I kind of know how to do that. I mean, it's fun to do live, but I'm trying to think, like, what else can I do on the Blazor side? Oh, I know what I'm going to do. And this is what people should be telling me. How about checking in your code? Now, there's no unit tests, but this basic flow works, right? So I can say, what do I want to call this? Like, before I break it, let's commit it. And say, entry calls web calls web API via feedback service, something like that. I don't know. Checking it in. I'm working alone, so my commits don't have to be like, the greatest naming in the world. If you're interested, you can go to my GitHub and see the code that I've got out there. Let's take a look at where am I? Let's see. My repositories. I'm not the most avid GitHub person. For work, we don't use GitHub. We use Git into Azure DevOps. But anyway, here's team feedback. Not a whole lot going on here yet. I'm not taking pull requests. I really want to work this whole thing out myself. But if you want to see what I've got so far and play along, here it is. Nothing too incredible yet, but it's getting there. Because this isn't that complicated an application, and so I'm really hoping I can start to bang it out. So we're gonna have GitHub Actions that will push this up to my Azure subscription, and this will be running there where we can, I can use this thing. There'll be unit tests. There'll be I want to switch to using Bicep instead of ARM templates. Well, Bicep creates ARM templates, so that's good. Hang on one sec. I just gotta check something. I got to do like a real work thing. I got to send one message real quick. So, what? One thing I haven't said is, hey, don't forget to follow me here on Twitch. Love to have more followers, so when I'm going live. And this is the shameless plug, but that's what we're supposed to do, right? Follow me. If you're on YouTube, subscribe to my YouTube channel. And I have some other content up there, including this kind of stuff that I'm doing. Trying to keep a good rhythm and coming out here and doing some live coding in the lunchtime area and maybe in the evenings. But it's so hard to find time, and I'm sure everybody knows how that is. So let me look at my to-do list and think about what do I want to do next. I have this sort of very lame little. Oop, this isn't it. OneNote that has a bunch of stuff in here that I want to do. For instance, I want to do Blazor WebAssembly at some point, right? Got the web API, Azure hosting, GitHub. I know I got to do all that stuff. I could put some rules in here. I kind of want to work on the Blazor page a little bit and make it look a little nicer. Fine, toss you a file. Hey, thank you, PyroCat. And again, I'm sorry I don't have any animations working yet, but I appreciate that. PyroCat. So, does anyone, since there's some Blazor people on here, does anyone know how to do Blazor server where I can do like edit and continue? I know that's enabled now for like WebAssembly. When I get to the point where I'm doing the UI stuff, I really like to be able to just like make little changes, right? And see the changes. And unfortunately, I'm not at that place yet. And I don't know if it's something special for Blazor that you do, or is it the same as like what I would do for, like a basic MVC page, which is, so the .NET Watch command line thing, Darren Evans, thank you. I've seen some stuff about that. I thought that was the WebAssembly thing. I know there is a command line thing. Is that? Heck, part of this whole show has been me Googling things, right? Blazor server watch, as I think I did this once before. Is there any hot reload for Blazor server side? Now this is 2019, 2021, April 7th. Hot reload support. Now this is some Sync Fusion thing. I don't know if this is official. Oh, let's talk about hot reload. As of now, hot reload is not supported in Blazor, but is scheduled for .NET 5 release. That's kind of confusing. In Visual Studio, there's probably an extension for it that's probably written by Mads. You know what? It probably is. If anyone thinks they know it all, they're probably not that bright. Thank you. I know I'm not that bright, and that's where I'm at. I am very confident in how not bright I am, right? So, yeah, I'm very confident, and I have, I'm silly. So this is that .NET Watch run. I want to do it like Visual Studio. Maybe that's what I need to say is Visual Studio. And for those of you that are doing Blazor, because a couple people said they're doing Blazor, are you using Visual Studio or are you using VS Code? I really like VS Code, but I don't know. Some of these things I just feel like comfortable in Visual Studio. Many years of using this. VS here, Visual Studio Web. Yeah, yep. Yeah, so, you're with me, right? Like the same kind of feeling. I don't know. These are one of those things, like, I think I started to look at this on the stream like 2 days ago and just got like tired of it and just sort of skipped it. And I was just like, oh, I don't know. I'll figure out this hot reload thing later. There's probably, I don't know. I have to find out. But why don't I just work a little bit on what's interesting is that if you're new to Blazor like me, what I find myself getting stuck on in my brain is that I can do just HTML in here. Like it took me a while to realize that if I wanted to put these two things in like the same thing, I'm like, oh God, it's just a div, right? Like, duh. But I think of Blazor as some other thing and Razor as some other thing, but it's obviously I have H3 in here and things like that. So what do I want to do here? So unfortunately, the only way to do this is to see it. What I'd like to figure out is if I was doing like an MVC app, I would probably use like Bootstrap or something, right? And I know there's another library out that's really popular, but can I like put Bootstrap into Blazor or into, I can't imagine why I couldn't. And then could I get some like simple styling that I'm kind of comfortable with using? So like, Bootstrap with Blazor. Like, why couldn't I, right? Blazorize. This is Blazor WebAssembly. Can I use Bootstrap? Let's just see what this says. When you start a new Blazor project, it will quick start you with a default Bootstrap template. I didn't get that. I don't think I got that. Anyone else here stream you learning Blazor? Bootstrap is built into Blazor already, says Nerd Herder. Well, I'm a nerd, and I need you to herd me. I don't... Oh my God, wait, look at this. Bootstrap's in here. Holy moly. Well, that kind of makes things easier. I didn't notice it when I was looking for something earlier. Oh my gosh, how did I not notice that? Okay. So who's teaching who here? I'm not here to be teaching. I'm here to be going along for the ride. If anyone's thinking that I'm going to be the ultimate teacher here, Visual Studio's unhappy. What's going on here? So if that's the case, now even my Bootstrap's a little sloppy too these days. But what if I come in here and put in like, let's see if I can remember div, and I can say like class equals, what's it called? Well, I'll just do something silly like class equals alert. I gotta spell it right. Alert like info maybe, right? And I'll just start to put some stuff in here like, please provide feedback for your team, right? And this is going to get better. But you know, one of the things I really wanted to do is like fix these input selects, right? So can I then turn this into like a, I want to turn this into like a Bootstrap form, right? That's what I need to do. And I guess this just turns into a div. Like, can I just say edit form, or can I put it in here? Like class equals form or something like that. Isn't it form, I don't know, maybe just form control goes in these other things. Let's try that. I'm so rusty with this stuff, but let's just see what happens if I put it on here, like class equals form control, right? That's an input select. Like, will that just already look better? I don't know. I'm going to try to find out. Does this help with your hot reload for Visual Studio? I'm going to check that. Stack Overflow. Well, this is Blazor WebAssembly. Thank you, Darren Evans. This is Blazor WebAssembly, and I'm looking to do Blazor server-side, and I'm fairly certain it works differently. Oh, I restarted both projects. That's okay. So here's my... Probably shouldn't restart both projects if I'm just working on the front end. Oh my, oh my. Come on. So yeah, so that worked, but it didn't really work. Now this worked. That worked the way I wanted to. Like, please choose got the styling I wanted. It's really big. Now I just have to remember to build out like my form like I would do. So like, let's just go real quick. Oh, I can't do this because this will close. Okay. This gives me some place to go here. And this is one of the things I really like about Blazor is that like I can use the things I know already, especially C#, and yet at the same time, I can, let's just do like get Bootstrap. I can use things like Bootstrap that I know and love. I don't know what it is. Getbootstrap.com maybe? Yeah, okay. And let's just do one of these like get started layout forms, right? So I need a class MB, that's the size. Oh, so I'm not using any of the Bootstrap page stuff, I don't think, unless my main layout has some Bootstrap in here, and it does, so that's good. So I've got like row, I've got content. Okay, so that's not bad. I think then I just need to use like, oh my gosh, I forget about all this stuff. I guess I want to say like class equals MB. This is the new style, MB. I don't know. I'm used to when it was like column. Can you still do, oh, you can still do column. All right, column. I don't know, let's just try that just for kicks, right? So that'll make it like 6. That'll sort of constrict it. And then I want to put a span maybe on here. You know, if I could remember how to use anything. So I'll let you know a little secret that lately, oh, label. I need a label. Oh man, I forgot about all this stuff. So I'm going to steal this. Let's steal that for now. I am such an manager these days, you know, like kind of that I don't get to write a lot of code. And so a lot of this stuff has gone to hell for me, quite frankly. So I'm not going to use the for part yet. I'm just going to put this up in here, right? And it's a class form label. I think that'll be neat. And then what else do I do? Oh, I put them both in a div, right? Both in a div, and I have form control. Yeah, this will look nice. This should be pretty easy. I bet I can do some stuff. So here's my div. I've got label, and then this is going to say form control. And I'm going to put, just for kicks, I'll say call class equals call. They use that MD thing. I don't even know what that is. MD3? Is that what it said? What did it say? I should probably read up some of these things. Oh, MB. Sorry, MB. I don't know what that even means. It looks okay. People are probably bailing on me like, what is this guy doing? This guy does not know. I'm going to assume that MB3, I don't know. Who cares? We'll put that there. Let's see what it looks like. I want to change my startup and just go to single startup again. And if that looks good, like, you know, good enough. I mean, like if that I'm excited that this will just be like the basic, like, look how easy it is to style things with Blazor, because it is HTML, stuff like that. MB margin bottom. Oh. So WebFace says a row. I think the row, I probably should use a row, but I think there's already a row from the higher element. But yeah. Yeah, I can make this a row. I could do that. This lame example that I was grabbing things from was not really a fully, I should probably look for like a full form. Like these don't have the form that surrounds it, and maybe that's why. What I don't have is, see, they're using that MB thing a lot. That's interesting. Form control, overview. See this class, form, because let's leave that margin bottom thing if that's what that means. I don't really care about that. So it's a div, inside is a label, and an input, form control, form label. So they're in a div, and they're not even specifying the size on those. And I think if you do that, it just blows out pretty big. They don't show row. I thought the row technically was like, there's no row here. Okay, there's no row here. But this has a main, this has to be a container maybe, right? Is content the same as container? I don't know about that. I remember something like class equals container, container fluid even. What I really want to do is be able to like hit save and see the changes. That's not working. I could throw a row into here. I could call this a row. Right? Sometimes it works better if you have two of these. Let's goof around here. Class equals row. And then I'm going to say label. Let's keep this over here. And in a couple minutes, I really got to get to work. This is going to say, I just need this class form control. Let's see if this thing got any better by me playing around. I don't think this is going to automatically reload. Worth a try. Like maybe this reload thing is overrated. Like maybe it just works. But I don't think so. So actually, did it do anything? It might have done something. Because here I have a row. Here I have a row. I'll just stop it. So this is like research. Shift, yeah, maybe shift reload to avoid the cache. I know. Thank you, Darren Evans. Appreciate that. Let's just see. I think after this, I'm going to wrap it up because it's getting on like almost 2 o'clock and I'm late for a meeting. So let's see what happens with this. For people that are here and hanging out with me, thank you so much. Oh my gosh. I mean, it's amazing. Fritz hooked me up with this killer raid. Fritz is the man, by the way. I think we all know that. Goes without saying, I guess, that Fritz is the man. But Fritz is the man. And I appreciate that. Yeah, I know that thank you, G-Man. .NET 6 is bringing the true hot load. That's what I saw in some of the blog posts and things like that. Although I thought there was some like hacky ways to do it. So I'm really excited for that. In the meantime, I guess I could look on Twitch and see if we can raid out to somebody else. I admit I'm kind of a novice with that thing. Like, first I got to find out who to raid. So I'm going to go to Twitch and see who do I know that's streaming. And then maybe we'll do like a raid. Darren Evans is like pumping through the research here. I don't know who we would raid that I know that's live right now. Visual Studio channel has something going on. Xamarin Community Stand-Up. Is anyone say we should raid the Xamarin Community Stand-Up, or is that not a raid-worthy thing? I don't know, because I'm kind of new to raids and all that stuff. Or if someone has a channel that they think I should raid, I would be happy to do that. Just enable notifications for your Twitch channel in my Twitch app. Looking forward to seeing. Oh, just enable Hey, thanks, WebFace. I appreciate that. I hope others will come along with me on this journey of learning, and you guys can help me, and I'll help you, and we'll have some fun together. If anyone has a suggestion for a raid, I guess I could do that, but I don't see anyone that I know that is really streaming right now. And then I'd have to remember to figure out how to learn how to do the raid. So I feel like I should pay that forward because Fritz hooked me up. Do I stream often? Nerd Herder asks. I am recently back to streaming pretty often at lunchtime, trying to do it every day where possible. An extended lunchtime, so like U.S. Eastern time, between like 11:30 and 1 o'clock or 1:30, like that kind of thing is what I'm trying to do. I might pop on in the evenings as well when I have some time, because I'm really trying to push this project and actually get something accomplished here and learn something. So that's when I'm streaming. And so I appreciate anybody wanting to hang out, come along. I'm always looking for more streams to follow as well, but I know this sounds, I'm just being honest with everybody. I don't know. It's really hard to find time to watch streams. Like, I appreciate you people watching me here, right? This is so cool that you're here with me. It's like, I'm wondering when, like, at lunch to me is a good time to watch streams, except if I'm streaming, I can't watch streams, you know. I love to know how other people do this. Do they just keep these on in the background while they're working? I've tried to do that, and sometimes it works well, but most of the time I get so engaged in what the streamer's doing. I'm like, oh, this is so great, and then I can't get my real work done. I find that a real challenge. There's so much great content out here. But I better get going. I'm going to sign off. It doesn't look like we're raiding anybody, but I'm going to try to figure that out and do a better job for next time with the raids. And so let me just say thank you to anyone who's here or has been here or is watching in the future. Don't forget, Wednesday nights, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time is the Dev Talk Show, where we talk about all sorts of great topics for software developers, and we have demos, we have code, we have just conversations, questions with the crowd and the audience. Tons of fun Wednesday nights. The Dev Talk Show on Twitch and YouTube, and also I'm Shwami Streams on Twitch and YouTube, and I'm here most U.S. Eastern days these days. Wednesday, like 11:30 and 12. Between 11:30 and 12, I get started. So I'm babbling. I'm going to sign off. Thank you so much, and I hope to see you soon.